Welcome to Moving to Canada, the ultimate channel for everything you need to know about immigrating to and settling in Canada. Whether you're considering a move or already making plans, we're here to provide you with the latest updates, essential tips, and expert advice to make your transition smooth and successful. In today's video, we'll be discussing a significant recommendation from the Standing Senate Committee on Social Affairs, Science and Technology that could greatly impact the lives of temporary foreign workers in Canada. We'll delve into the details of why the committee suggests phasing out closed work permits, the potential benefits of this change, and what it means for both employers and employees. Make sure to check out the links in the description below for free resources and guides, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay updated on the latest Canadian immigration news and tips. Let's dive in. Understanding the TFWP and closed work permits. First, let's start with a brief overview of the Temporary Foreign Worker Program, or TFWP, and how closed work permits fit into this framework. The TFWP was introduced in 1973 as a means to help Canadian employers fill urgent, unstaffed positions when no Canadians or permanent residents were qualified or applied. Essentially, it was designed as a last resort for employers in need of specific skills not readily available in the local labor market. Closed work permits are a type of work permit under the TFWP that tie the employee to a single employer. This means that the worker can only work for the employer who sponsored their permit. While this system was intended to ensure that employers could fill their immediate labor needs, it has led to several challenges and criticisms over the years, particularly regarding the vulnerability and rights of migrant workers. The report's findings and recommendations. The Standing Senate Committee on Social Affairs, Science and Technology has recently released a report recommending that Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, stop issuing closed work permits. The report highlights several key issues with the current structure of the TFWP and the use of closed work permits. One of the primary concerns is that the TFWP has evolved from being a last resort solution to a central component of the Canadian labor market. This shift means that the program is now being used more extensively than initially intended, leading to a range of systemic problems. The committee's report underscores that closed work permits inherently make migrant workers more vulnerable to exploitation and abuse. Since workers are tied to a single employer, they may feel pressured to endure poor working conditions, fearing that leaving their jobs could result in losing their legal status in Canada. This creates a power imbalance that can lead to various forms of mistreatment, including underpayment, overwork, and even harassment. Employer challenges and systemic barriers. The report also sheds light on the challenges faced by employers under the current TFWP. Employers often express frustration with the rigidity of the system, particularly when it comes to managing a transient labor force. Seasonal workers, for example, are crucial for many industries, yet the temporary nature of their employment can make it difficult for employers to plan and train their workforce effectively. Furthermore, the relationship between employers and temporary foreign workers can become almost paternalistic, as employers are responsible for providing housing, healthcare, and other necessities. This arrangement, while intended to support workers, can create additional pressures and responsibilities for employers, complicating the employment dynamic. Proposed solutions and benefits. To address these issues, the SCSAST recommends phasing out closed work permits within the next 3 years. Instead, the report suggests exploring alternatives such as sector-specific or region-specific work permits. These permits would allow workers to move between employers within a specific industry or geographic area, providing greater flexibility and reducing their vulnerability to exploitation. Sector-specific permits would enable workers to switch jobs within the same industry, ensuring that they can seek better opportunities or escape abusive situations without jeopardizing their legal status. Region-specific permits would allow workers to move between employers in a particular area, promoting local labor market stability and giving workers more options for employment. Another significant recommendation from the report is to grant permanent resident status to all migrant workers. This change would ensure that migrant workers have the same rights and protections as Canadian workers, eliminating the separate class of temporary workers and addressing many of the systemic issues they face. Permanent residency would provide workers with greater security and stability, allowing them to fully integrate into Canadian society. Improving oversight and communication. The SCSAST report also highlights the need for better oversight and communication within the TFWP. Currently, multiple government departments are involved in the program, leading to inconsistent communication and oversight. For example, migrant workers are not always adequately informed of their rights, and some employers face duplicate workplace inspections that are often announced in advance, giving non-compliant employers time to temporarily improve conditions. To address these issues, the report recommends establishing a Migrant Work Commission. This commission would serve as a single point of contact for reports of abuse and mistreatment, advocate for migrant workers' rights, and streamline communication between the various government departments involved in the TFWP. The commission would also conduct annual consultations with relevant stakeholders and work to collect, analyze, and disseminate data on the experiences of migrant workers in Canada. Additional recommendations. In addition to the major recommendations mentioned above, the SCSAST report includes several other suggestions aimed at improving the TFWP. These include providing better pre-arrival information for migrant workers, increasing the number of unannounced workplace inspections, and expanding the provincial nominee program to allow more temporary and migrant workers to become permanent residents. Providing comprehensive pre-arrival information would help workers understand their rights and responsibilities before arriving in Canada, reducing the likelihood of exploitation. Unannounced workplace inspections would help ensure that employers maintain safe and fair working conditions, even when they are not under direct scrutiny. Expanding the provincial nominee program would provide more pathways for temporary and migrant workers to obtain permanent residency, recognizing their contributions to the Canadian economy and society. This would help address the systemic barriers that temporary workers face and promote their long-term integration into Canadian communities. Some final words. In summary, the SCSAST report provides a comprehensive analysis of the challenges and issues within the temporary foreign worker program and offers several recommendations to improve the system. Phasing out closed work permits, exploring sector-specific and region-specific permits, granting permanent residency to migrant workers, and establishing a Migrant Work Commission are all significant steps toward creating a fairer and more effective program. By implementing these changes, Canada can better protect the rights of migrant workers, reduce their vulnerability to exploitation, and create a more stable and flexible labor market. These recommendations, if adopted, would benefit not only the workers but also employers and the broader Canadian society. Thank you for watching today's video on the important recommendations for the Temporary Foreign Worker Program. We hope you found this information helpful and informative. Don't forget to check out the links in the description for free resources and guides to help you navigate your journey to Canada. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel to stay updated on the latest immigration news and tips. Your support helps us continue to provide valuable content for everyone looking to move to and settle in Canada. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.